It doesn't matter if the game is located in Indianapolis or Chicago. When the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky meet in 2025, it will be belt to ass. Without Caitlin Clark, without Stephanie White, without Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever walk into the United Center, one of the biggest regular season games in WNBA history, broadcast nationally on CBS, I believe their first ever game. And this was a beat 'em down, slow 'em down, grind it out game that the Chicago Sky just looked absolutely offensively inept. And I feel like major changes need to be made in the organization, whether via trade, via firing, something's going on. We're going to go through the box score and all that and take more of a look at it. This video, of course, is sponsored by OneLifetimeWorldwide.com. Make sure you visit. Just below is written below me. First video back from me in about 11 days. I had a lot going on. I was out of town, so able to kind of talk about the Indiana Fever tonight, watch this whole game. And this was, business woman-like execution that I would expect from the Indiana Fever. This is where they handle a bad team, and it's not really flashy, exciting, or anything like that, but there were enough moments in this game where I took a lot from players like Erin McDonald, who is quickly making a case to get on the court. When Courtney Vandersloot went down with that knee injury, non-contact, best wishes to her. This game kind of changed for the worse for the Sky because Haley Van Lith was thrown into the action and she got swallowed up the entire game by Erin McDonald, who harassed her for 94 feet and just took the physicality and the intensity to her in a way that just had her playing very erratic, and Haley Van Lith was never really able to direct the offense. I think from the Fever end of it, they just executed, and it slowly came along as they looked at every position. They had the better player. They had somebody that was willing to be a little bit more physical. They had better movement without the ball. They shared the ball incredibly tonight as they were moving around. Not a lot of fast break points. Of course, you don't have Caitlin Clark, so they're not going to move as fast up and down the court, but I like the shooting that was displayed. I believe they hit their most three-pointers in the season tonight. Dantas was drawing a lot of fouls. Both Aliyah Boston and Natasha Howard were clamping up the front line of the Chicago Sky, forcing them into throwing up major slop at the rim, as Angel Reese just had an atrocious night. We'll take a look at the box score in just a second and flesh out my thoughts on it. There is no narrative to save the Chicago Sky this time. There is no bogus report or investigation to be held after this game. There are no allegations of racism. There will be nothing else to distract from the beat 'em down. And I know it's going to say, about 26 points, 25-point win. This team was down 30 at one point. 30. That's right. And I don't know. The Fever, they weren't going crazy. They were just executing simple concepts. The Sky completely look offensively challenged. If Angel Reese continues to be your best player and only gives you 4 points on horrific percentages, they have questions to answer. They will be trying to get AZ Fudd next year. They will be trying to get Olivia Miles next year. They need a shot creator, an offensive creator, someone who can get their own shot, and as a bonus, perhaps get other people's shots, because Courtney Vandersloot's not the answer. Haley Van Lith is not the answer yet. They need a star. And unfortunately, the person that they have, kind of attached a franchise to cannot play offensive basketball. So that's always going to be a problem. Caitlin Clark was on the bench, coaching it up, laughing all night, celebrating with the three-point symbols, and generally probably having a nice hate watch. Seeing every time Angel Reese, something bad would happen to her on the court, it felt like they were cutting the camera to Caitlin Clark for her reaction. So a little bit of news in that arena there. But this is just a good simple win for the Indiana Fever. All right, so let's take a look at our stats right here. 79-52. The Indiana Fever, just put a big beat down on them. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 17. Not even her best game, really. She was 1 of 6 from 3. And she did have a couple of highlight plays, couple of step backs that I thought were pretty cool where she cooked Ariel Atkins. But you look at that whole starting lineup of Mitchell, Howard, Art, Boston, and Hull. Colson started, but it looked like Eric McDonald actually played more minutes. Look at those plus minuses. I don't know if you guys can see them on the screen, but plus 28 for Kelsey Mitchell, plus 19 for Howard and McDonald, who I contend swung the game. Aliyah Boston with 20, plus 20. Lexi Hull plus 27. You can look at the points. Howard added 13. McDonald with 12 with 3 3-pointers. You look at Aliyah Boston, only 11, 5, and 5, but she definitely moved the ball and kind of controlled a lot of the paint with her physicality and was just really just leagues above Camila Cardoso. I think Lexi Hull hit 2 3-pointers as well. She continues to lead the league in 3-point percentage, and that's only going to, work out better for the Fever. The more that she's out there, and making her a starter is a good thing, I think. Sydney Colson actually played pretty good. Most of her minutes that I've seen have been horrific, but 2 3-pointers for her. And, Dantas drew a few fouls, so that was cool. We even saw Michaela Timpson in the game. I know so many of you are Michaela Timpson fans. She got in for a minute, drew a foul. That's about it. So even Brianna Turner scored. So, I don't know, man. The Fever versus the Sky, when you look at it, they're 40% of the way to a sweep of this team. And this was a Commissioner's Cup game, so this is definitely useful for them. But let's take a look at the Chicago Sky. First thing that jumps off the page for me, they do not have a player in double figures for the game. That is a horrible sign. You will lose, I promise you. Cardoso, 8 points. Beck Allen, 8 points, throwing up just these miracle shots in the first half that somehow went in, that all of a sudden the second half came and she couldn't do it anymore. Elizabeth Williams has one of the worst jump shots that I've ever seen since Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. She has this weird hitch where she's just holds the ball here and then shoots after that, and it just makes everything that she does offensively look painful. I don't know why. Haley Van Lith, kind of thrown into the fire tonight, but this is what happens when you're a pro. You step in and it's you got a tough matchup, and that tough matchup was Ari McDonald, and she bottled her up all game. As I go through the top 5 scorers, Angel Reese is not there. Let's talk about Angel Reese. So Angel Reese has 4 points tonight with 12 rebounds, a minus 20, 5 offensive boards, and shot 28% from the field. Let's say her season stats. So for the season, she's getting 10 points a game on the dot and 12.3 rebounds and leading the league in rebounding. She is shooting 31% from the floor on the season, 33% from 3, probably on minimal attempts, 70% from the line, and she's getting just under 3 assists a game. Not really blocking shots either. So, I don't know who's going to be honest. Maybe I'll be the one to be honest. I don't think Angel Reese is going to make the All-Star team this year. Playing at this rate, it's going to be tough for her to really make her case that she has improved at all. If anything, it looks like she's gotten marginally worse, and that could be a function of not having the backcourt to really support her. It could be a function of the coach not really knowing how to use her yet. It could just be a function of her skills and just missing these open layups that some of you have seen. But as constructed, if these teams continue to stand like this, the Chicago Sky will never beat the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark didn't even play. So there's nothing there. This is just, I feel like this is a sounding alarm loss for the Chicago Sky, and the Indiana Fever should feel good about themselves. When Caitlin originally got injured, my bar for success for them would be just try to go 500 without her. And that's kind of where they're at right now. She heads into a reevaluation tomorrow, and we're going to see where she stands. And perhaps she could be back for the Tuesday game in Atlanta, which would be pretty cool for me because that's right down the road. And, never know, might have to make a quick trip. But even if she does not play yet, I think there's positive energy around Caitlin with some of the, speaking that she did with the media, people kind of feel like, she's making progress. So we'll see. But this is a good, solid win for the Fever. You always want to beat a division rival. You want to beat this team that you're matched up with 5 times, give away no ground to them, take those free wins as they come. And, this was just a beat them down on so many levels. So anyway, I'm Rich. What'd you guys think of this game? I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace. One lifetime.